Hi, thanks for joining me today on Between the Sundays. I hope this will help you today, especially if you've dealt with anxiety or depression. And I don't want this to sound as if it's just something I take lightly and have a simple cure for, but I really want it to be of help to people. So I hope you'll stick around. We get a renewing of our minds when we are in Scripture and letting Him help us be transformed. And the first verse I would like us to look at is found in 2 Corinthians 10:5. And it says, "We demolish arguments and every pretension that sets itself up against the knowledge of God, and we take captive every thought to make it obedient to Christ." So the first part of the verse says we demolish arguments and every pretension that sets itself up against the knowledge of God. And, when you break that down and you think about that, those thoughts are coming from Satan, right? And because he is the one that sets himself up against the knowledge of God. He is the one that tempts us with those kinds of thoughts. And we have to make a choice to really take those thoughts captive. As the rest of the verse says, we take captive every thought to make it obedient to Christ. And, I don't think we often think about our thoughts being obedient to Christ, but really when we choose to think about the right things and really His word is so helpful in that way, because I have dealt with this. I just feel like God brought me to a place of brokenness and realizing that I couldn't change that in my own strength. I couldn't change my thoughts, my thought patterns in my own strength, that I needed Him to help me. And I believe that God will help us if we surrender things to Him, but that He wants us to realize that we need to do that we need to humble ourselves enough before God to say, we need your help with this. And I came to the point of realizing that if I wasn't surrendering things to God, if I wasn't trusting Him, it's so hard to admit, and even to ourselves, but it's really pride behind that, because we think we can come out with a better outcome. We don't really trust that God will have the same outcome that we think should happen. And ultimately, He has the best outcome. He can see things that we can't see. He knows what's best for us and for all of those that we care about, and He's transforming our character. And no, things will not always happen in the way that we want them to, but there's a reason for the way that they do happen. And a lot of times we can definitely see later on why things happened the way that they did and how it helped us to better our character during that time and become more like God. I would really like to encourage you to think about the verse in Philippians 4:8 that says, whatsoever things are true, whatsoever things are noble, whatsoever things are just, whatsoever things are pure, whatsoever things are lovely, whatsoever things are of good report, if there be any virtue and if there be any praise, think on these things. And I memorized that because I knew that I needed to refocus my thoughts so much. And it helps. I know Joyce Meyer has said that we believe ourselves more than anyone else. So if we hear ourselves say things like verses out loud, we start to believe them even more than if we just read them. And really, we need to train our minds to focus on the things that we need to focus on instead of just letting them go wherever they want to. And that's part of taking our thoughts captive. It's part of setting our minds on things above. Also, I would really appreciate it if you would share this video with others if it's helpful to you, and this series as we go through it. So I hope you'll have a good day, and that I'll see you again between the Sundays, and that this really does help you. Bye.